Welcome, punters, to my Melbourne Cup runner by runner preview for the 2024 Melbourne Cup over 3,200 metres, 3 o'clock, Group 1. Very even Melbourne Cup. There's a lot of dead weight in this race. So I'm going to try my best to give every runner a push. If you do like it, use it as a guide. Use it however you want. If you want to follow me in, you're a good man or lady, but if you go against me, it'll be interesting. Let us know in your thoughts in the comments on how you see it. Geez, there could be a lot of opinions here. So let's get cracking. So rail will be at 3 meters roughly for the Melbourne Cup. So bit of warm weather, mild weather. So yeah, be interesting. Track will be interesting, that's for sure. All right. Number one, Vauban, Willie Mullins, William Buick, barrier 11. Top odds is $6.50. Ran in last year's Melbourne Cup. Had a good, yeah, it was single digits for the Melbourne Cup, was favourite for a while. Last year's Melbourne Cup was very suicidal pace. Yeah, there was a lot of horses up in front that just absolutely died on their run. Vauban was one of them that looked like going super on the corner and just had nothing left in its last 100 meters. It dropped right out. I just feel that was just due to the suicidal pace. Uh, Parade and Cope was horrible. So if there's any signs of it improving, I think you can, if you backed it last year, you got to go again. So he's had a different campaign to last year. He was coming over the hurdles. They thought they brought the right horse, and I think they did, but it just, yeah, it's a different campaign. So for the people that don't know, it's yeah, it was over the hurdles last campaign. Now really focused on the European campaign. Finished second in its most recent run, 2.5 off Kyprios, who is probably the best European stayer. That was over like 2,800 meters. It was a good run. Yeah, it's ticking every box here. As I said, different campaign. William Buick sticks to the ride. I'm not a fan. I would love to amuse a local jockey, but it's not it. Yeah, I think it's a huge player. The form of Kyprios. Yeah, if Kyprios came to our Melbourne Cup to give a guide, he'd probably win a Melbourne Cup by panels, especially this one. So I, yeah, 2.5 off it. At one stage, he looked like he was going to go past it. He was traveling beautifully. In the run, he's probably going to be sitting just worse than midfield. I don't feel they'll be really up on pace now, especially last year. There was 4 or 5 that went pretty quick up top, especially along the riverside, and then it was about a 2 length gap to Vauban. So he was pretty much leading the pack. Again, if he's coat and parades well, he is a bet. You've got to go again. If, as I said, you've got to go again if you didn't. If you did last year, I loved his last run, ticking every box, major player. Number 2 here, Buckaroo, Chris Waller, Joe Moreira, barrier 21, top odds of $6.50. This horse would probably be on top for me if it had a better barrier. 21 scares me. They're probably going to have to take their medicine and go back. He's coming out of the absolute A form races. Turnbull, second, came from behind. First was Via Sistina, who won the Melbourne Cup, the Cox Plate by 8. Probably would have won a Melbourne Cup if it continued on to a Cox Plate. I think they've missed the boat with Via Sistina, but hey, that's a different story. Beautiful run. Caulfield Cup, unlucky. Duke to Sessa just set him off along the side towards the corner. There was sort of the day played very leaderish. It was top 3 in running lanes 2 to 5 inside 1 length was most advantaged. Now, this horse came from the absolute rear 14th, held up, hit the line hard. If this drew a barrier, I'd probably have this on top. I'm just worried it's going to be near last. Probably has the talent to win it, but hasn't seen 3,200. But off its Caulfield Cup run, I feel it can run 3,200. Wouldn't talk you out of backing it. I'm just worried where it lands. I've landed this horse towards the back six. So he might get a good trail with Interpretation or Kovalica. But yeah, I think he'll definitely run a place. But I just don't know how much he's going to be spotting these leaders or horses that are off and gone. And Joe Moreira doesn't have the best track record last year's Melbourne Cup. So number 3, Circle of Fire, Kira Ma, Mark Zara, barrier 24, top odds of $34. Won the Sydney Cup and rocketed into favourite for the Melbourne Cup, which they always do. Won the Chairman's start before the Sydney Cup. Second in the Sydney Cup was Atabascan, who is number 10. Won by 2 lengths, Circle of Fire. Looked a nice horse, but I feel his best racing's when he rolls forward. And barrier 24, will they bite the bullet? I think they will. I think they'll roll forward here. If they go to last, he's got no sort of turn of foot. He's just a one pacer. So I think they roll forward. He probably sits outside leader. If they go back, he's just got genuine no chance at $31 is stupid. Just crazy. It should be 310. But if it rolls forward, it's a genuine $31 chance. First up, Forgive. Second up was okay in the Turnbull. Caulfield Cup. Yeah, he was midfield, but he wasn't in the right lanes. Again, one paced. Good luck if you backed him. Number 4 is Warp Speed. Japan horse. I'm going to have a crack at this trainer. Nibiru Takagi and Sugawara is the jockey. Barrier 3. Caulfield Cup was a trial, I believe. I think it wants 3,200. Sat near last, had to take its medicine and go back from that barrier. It was okay. Hard to rave about it. It will be in the rear of the field, sort of. That's what it does in Japan. It's run over 3,200 and hasn't troubled the scorers. But yeah, he's a bit like breakup in last year's Melbourne Cup. I don't think so for me. Barrier brings him into contention if you do like it, but yeah, I don't know. It's just a no for me. Number 5, Kovalica, Chris Waller, Damian Lane, barrier 17. Now, normally I'd just be an auto bet for me coming out of the Cox Plate. Cox Plate into Melbourne Cups have been a good recipe. So it's just, man, it's a hard horse to assess here. A lot of people tipping this in their numbers, not to win, but just in its numbers. Cox Plate sat last, took its medicine, went back. Was looking good, but just didn't really pass anything. It passed horses that were just had enough or just, weren't in it. Now, this horse won a Queensland Derby a couple of years ago now. It is a 5-year-old. So, 2 years ago this I was backing this for a Caulfield Cup last year, but trainer stuck to 1,400. I just think it's been a trainer error from Chris Waller, just chasing the money and not what the horse is suited to. When he's up near 2,000 plus, he goes okay. 2,200 last prep, he was sat near last and finished 5 lengths behind Fulton Park, who once was a Caulfield Cup favourite this year, but second was Night Choice, Boyd the Agent, Vow and Declare. Not the right form. But this prep, he was good in an Epsom. He was good in the Hill Stakes. Disappointing a little bit in the Cox Plate. But look, $21, you never know. If he brings the Queensland Derby form, he's a chance. But I don't know. It just, It's a no from me. Let's keep it simple. Number six, Sharp and Start, Graham and Deborah Rogerson, Michael D, barrier 15, $71. Now, back in his 3-year-old days, 2 years ago, I don't think he could run 2,500 meters plus. Yeah, he just sort of find the line. Now, when I went back looking at its 3-year-old form, it is what it raced against. So it finished second to Manzois, who's in this Melbourne Cup, but has been going like a busted. Adafeldi Boy ran third in the Vic Derby, not going as well. Mr. Maestro finished fourth, not going as well. Then went to the ATC Derby a couple of months later in Sydney. Winner was Major Bill. Second was Victoria Circle. Third was Cesaro. Like, not the right forms for 2,500 meters. Going well, but yeah, going off its last run, it was very the Moonee Valley Cup. Lot to dissect out of that race. It's yeah, he was crabbing along around the corner. He looked like he was gone, but was coming back through the line and straightened up. But I just don't know if that's the right form. Yeah, it was go and watch the run out of Moonee Valley Cup. You can watch them on racing.com. Look, gone. Came back well, but yeah, very mixed. I just don't think he'll run the 3,200. But then when you watch its last 100 meters in the Moonee Valley Cup, it might run 3,200. But for me, yeah, I just can't at $71. Probably spoke too much about a $71 chance. Number seven here is Just Fine. Gay Waterhouse, Adrian Bott, Jai McNeil, third, barrier 13, $41. I think they've left a zero off this. Got the absolute perfect ride 2 starts ago in the Bart Cummings. 11 out of 10 Geordie Child's ride. Yeah, second was Point King, who was pushing for a Melbourne Cup. Third was a Maid. Not the right form, the Bart Cummings, but then tried the same tactics in the Moonee Valley Cup and just got absolutely found out, beaten 10 lengths. I'll give up if it wins. Should be $410. Number eight, well, it will lead just fine. So that's probably, if you like leaders, there's your leader. Back the leader. If you're betting in who's going to lead past the first post, just fine will. Number eight, Land Legend, Chris Waller, Zach Burton, barrier 18. Interesting. I like this for a Caulfield Cup. I had something little on it. Now, yeah, was really a lot to dissect out of this race for this horse because it pulled in the Melbourne Cup. Horse wanted to go a bit quicker. It was bottled up, and then jockey did really well, get him out and got him rolling. Beaten 6 lengths. I think the margin was yeah. Don't look too much into that. What we did know, it played up pre-race. So if the horse is okay, in the yard and going to the barriers, I think you can have something little on this. It's not like crazy odds, $19. I thought we'd get a bit better, but clearly they're going off that sort of the market is going off that. So yeah, if they go a nice steady tempo, we can really just roll along. Good barrier. Oh, sorry, 18. They're probably going to go back a bit, which won't mind it because in the Metrop, it sat near midfield, made an early move, took off, and won the Metrop, which I don't mind as a form race. So yeah, interesting. Better barrier, probably be putting in my final numbers, but yeah, going well. Number 9, Absurd, is Willie Mullins, Kieran McAvoy, barrier 7, and top odds of $10. Was on this horse in the 2023 Melbourne Cup just because of the odds. It was $30 compared to Vauban or Vaban. Got smashed right into, I reckon, $18. I think people saw the run that time at Ascot. It looked the winner. in last year's Melbourne Cup again, just sat off that speed and loomed to go past them and was hit the front and just gave up. Didn't get beaten a long margin. So if you liked it in last year's Melbourne Cup, you go again. Similar campaign to the 2023 in Europe. A few hurdle runs, then going through the Group 2, Group 3 route. Yeah, and he was going, yeah, it just, it, you could easily like this horse and put it on top. And I think if you did, you got to go again and have something, a saver on it, because it will, yeah, it will be thereabouts, especially from the good barrier. Professional I am. If you're watching, I'm just changing as I go. I didn't know I was glaring. Sorry. Yeah, Kieran McAvoy on. Zach Purton rode it last year. So, yeah, genuine chance. Can't knock. Number 10, Athabascan. John O'Shea, Tom Charlton, Zach Lloyd, barrier to $51. Not coming out of the right races for me. Got beaten 8 lengths in the Metrop to Land Legend and Zadozi. So it's a no from me. Nice in the St. Ledger, but yeah, hard to recommend. Knight's Choice, number 11. John Simon, Sheila Lax, and Robbie Dolan. I think it ran in last year's Melbourne Cup. Was probably with Gay Waterhouse back then. Again, very shocked it's in the race. I think they're just doing it for the owners who bought into it. But yeah, horrible in the Turnbull, horrible in the Caulfield Cup, and just okay in the Bendigo Cup. Now, when he's been with this new trainer, they've been just going back. Wouldn't surprise me if they roll forward. That's where its best racing was a couple of years ago, rolling forward. So keep an eye on it, but I'm not recommending $126. No. Number 12, Akita Sushi, Kieran Ma, Jamie Carr, barrier 10, $17. $21 you can get. Running last year's Melbourne Cup was Joseph O'Brien. A few people were giving this a light chance in their numbers last year from memory. Sat last in last year's Melbourne Cup just due to the stinky barrier of 20. He ran well. Yeah, he sat near last in as I said, suicidal tempo, peeled to the outside, grinded. It was a good, like, 200-meter turn of foot and then just, yeah, grinded to the line. It was a pretty good run for 100-to-1 shot in that Melbourne Cup. Yeah, I thought he was good. This year, since Mars had it, he's been rolling forward. Like the first two were just out the back. Could have easily just said trials. Now, since the Herbert Power and the Moonee Valley Cup rolling forward, this horse has improved. So I think the only chance for this horse is it will roll forward from 10. Won't lead, it'll be just off him. Has won at 3,200, so that's a tick. $17 is the right price. Could easily talk into having a bet on this. Will be interesting to see, yeah, how it goes. I think, yeah, he's a genuine player. Put him in your tries, your first fours. Can win, but my numbers will come soon. Don't worry. Stay with me. Number 13, One Smooth Operator, Brian Ellison, Craig Williams, barrier 12. This horse sort of surprised a little few people in the Geelong Cup. Now, has won over 3,300, but that's all been on synthetic. We're racing on turf. I think it just had its first win on the turf, so in the Geelong Cup. Ebor sat last, not a bad run, grinded to the line. Its European form tells me no, but its Geelong Cup win told me yes, so it's probably thriving down here, going super. Willow Welling gave it 3 cracks of the whip, and he's 200 to the 50, really, boom, took off and went. Good win. 50 eased down. Would have liked him gone through the line just to see what was there, but can win $12. Did pull up lame from the Geelong Cup and has had a cut on its hind leg and was, they put some doubt, the media into it, hyped it up a little. Will that play a role? I don't know. But yeah, $8. Wouldn't talk you out of backing it. Number 14, Zardozi, James Cummings, Andrea Adzini, barrier 4. Caulfield Cup run was good. It was the same as Land Legend. Bottled up, took off with Land Legend or behind it, used it as a tail. Oh, toe into the race. My apologies. Went well. Um, in the Metrop, he was good. Took off with Land Legend, or Land Legend used it again, so it was roles reverse. Some say it should have won off protest. There was a bump at the top of the corner, going well. This is interesting. James Cummings, his grandfather, Bart Cummings, absolute legend of the Melbourne Cup. He's used this as a 1980s, 90 and early 90s preparation. They used to do a lot of racing on the Saturday for a Melbourne Cup to fine tune its running. He has done this. Normally it's a 2,000 metre race or something, but they've used the Empire Rose 1600. Go and watch it from Saturday. Very hidden run. He looked after it. Clearly, he was under instructions to, just roll back. Barrier probably told that. Just go through the line. It was hands and heels. Didn't really whip it. Through the line strong. As they said back in the day, strong Melbourne Cup trial. And you could hear it in the caller's voice as well. So, can easily play it. He was huge in his 3-year-old campaign. Second in an ATC Oaks. Winner was Autumn Angel, who probably would have been good in a Caulfield Cup this year, but he's retired. Binary Stud, he was good, but this horse won the Oaks last year, year ago on the Thursday. Won by 2.5, won pretty easy, was 270. The form doesn't read too well, but I think it can run 3,200. Major player, $16. Number 15, Sea King, European. Finished alongside One Smooth Operator in the E-Ball. And E-Ball, some people rate that race and, like to use it as a Melbourne Cup guide. I'm a bit the opposite. I don't know if the E-Ball is the right thing. He was okay, Sea King, purchased by this ownership after its run in the E-Ball. So, they're just trying to buy a Melbourne Cup. Have they found the right one? Maybe. Couldn't run maybe a drum. And then it came Bendigo Cup. Yeah, look, the vision shows it was a good run and good win. Took off around the side, made it like a true European race. Won by 3.75. D's down. Again, European form, no, but Bendigo Cup, yes, but second Berkeley Square, third Star Vega. Don't know, but Bendigo Cup has had some good good history into the Melbourne Cup, especially recently. Interpretation ran 6th in last year's Melbourne Cup. High Emotion ran 3rd, winning the Bendigo Cup, 3rd in the Melbourne Cup. So can see why it's marked a little short, I thought, but no, can win. Especially if you've got any Europeans watching this. Yeah, I can't talk you out of the ones that are coming down and running. So number 16, Valiant King. I was liking this for a Caulfield Cup last year. It just didn't go as well. The form, Chris Waller, Craig Newitt, $71, barrier 22. Form suggests no. Beaten 13 lengths, 6 lengths, 13 lengths. How do they do that? Or how do they improve? I don't know, but it's a no from me. Number 17, Fancy Man, Annabelle Neesham, Rob Archibald, Stewart, 50 kilos, 19 a barrier, $101. Going well. He's flying under the radar, I think. 101. I've seen worse 100 to ones. Probably should be around 50s. Good in the naturalism. Good in the Herbert power. okay in the Caulfield Cup, but there was a lot of horses that were okay in the Caulfield Cup, but I think there was others going better than it in a Caulfield Cup, like Buckaroo, Land Legends, Ardozi. But yeah, went well. Seen better 100 to ones. Seen worse 100 to ones. Number 18, Interpretation, barrier 14. Kiramar, T.O. Nugent, barrier 14. Now, this horse wants a good track, and he's going to get a good track. So, yeah. Yeah, last year's Melbourne Cup, took its medicine, went back. Yeah, went well. Thought it was hitting the line hard on a good track. Yeah, SP'd $41. That was probably the right price. Now well found at 17 in this year's Melbourne Cup. This is a lot easier than last year's Melbourne Cup. There's no Without a Fight. Won a Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup double. So definitely entertained. Won the Bendigo Cup last year. As I said, that is the right race. This year, been up since June. So I think it's been a plan all along. His first up run told me there was something there, and this horse still hadn't lost it. Then he was on a heavy track, soft, sick track, 2,000, 2,400, beaten 5 and 8 lengths for Give. First up, or freshened up over September. That was a heavy 8 for Give. The Bart Cummings told me on a soft 6 there was something there still. Geelong Cup, I backed him at $21. Hit the line hard with 150 to go. I think it would be the same for it. If it can land midfield, it's going to go okay. Yeah, he's going well. $17, probably a touch unders, but wouldn't talk you out of backing him. Number 19, Man's Always, Chris Waller, Declan Bates won the Vic Derby 2 years ago and has not done anything since. $67, probably the right price, maybe add a zero if you want. Cannot recommend whatsoever. Yeah, I'd be shocked if he wins. Number 20, Mostly Cloudy, Trent Busserton, Natalie Young, Harris Teeton, barrier 16, 50 kilos, $101. Seemed worse, $101. Has a figure to win this. He's gone to the jump out since its last run, went well. He was okay in the Bart Cummings. He sort of was held up. He SP'd $10, and now it's $101. What would Point King be in this race? Probably $10. But yeah, I think you can put this horse into your numbers. He's definitely going to run 3,200, I feel. He was trying to win last year's Melbourne Cup, was unsuccessful. Different campaign this time. Last prep, it was a long prep for him, spaced, but now he's fourth up. So yeah, I think they've got this right. Blinkers come off. Yeah, good luck. I think he can go in your numbers for tries and first four. Number 21, Positivity, Andrew Forsdom, Winona Costin, 50 kilos, 101. He was going super before his Moonee Valley Cup run. He was a bit disappointing. I think he was maybe a bit too close to that hot speed and faded. This yard normally have their horses ready to go first up. Fifth up now. Yeah, it's a no. Number 22, St. George, Kieran Maher, Tyler Schiller, 50 kilos, barrier 9, $26. This was once favoured for the 2023 Melbourne Cup, did an injury. And yeah, it's been off for a while. Fifth up, I reckon there's a set play for this horse. Has beaten Land Legend back in July 2023 by 2 lengths. So if you like Land Legend / Dozy, who share the same form lines, I think St. George has got to be promoted here. His first up run told me he's going good. Okay, second was Positivity. Probably not the right form lines, but I feel he should have won. The Naturalism, I don't know how it didn't win or run a place. Just maybe second up. The Bart Cummings was okay, but it was a really yucky race with, as I said, Just Fine going early and making them chase. Probably didn't like it. Then Moonee Valley Cup, he was half looking after the horse around the corner. Didn't really get the best at transit in run or running transit. But yeah, he was good through the line. Finished with a long, sharp and smart. But yeah, I just think they've been aiming for this the whole time. He hasn't been in the he's been lucky to get in with a lot of horses pulling out of late and vet checks failing. But yeah, I think he's a genuine player. Number 23, the map. Daniel Clarkland, McGilvray, Rachel King, 50 kilos, $41. Barrier 23. Won the Andrew Ramsden's as an automatic ticket into the Melbourne Cup back in May, 2,800 meters. Good win. Second was mostly cloudy. So how is this $41 and mostly cloudy is 100 to 1? Not going as well. I know this is, I've said to all, if you listen to my podcast throughout, I've always said their grand final is this. They're aiming for this. But I wanted to see them go on a little bit better. Herbert Power, yeah. And Geelong Cup was just okay. He was coming with the others as a group. I just don't know. Yeah, he was favourite for a Melbourne Cup at one point when he won it. So, yeah. Number 24, Trust in You. Yeah, it's a definite no from me. Wallace, Cooksley, Displease, 50 kilos, barrier 500 to 1. Yeah, hard to recommend. I don't like New Zealand form, but you never know. But yeah, it's following the Athabascan form. And yeah, it was okay in the Metrop, but probably left a zero off. So to quickly go through, I think Verburn's a genuine chance. Buckaroo's a genuine chance. Circle of Five, if they roll forward, it can be a chance. Warp Speed, no. Kovalika coming out of the right race. Definitely maybe your first four. Smart, Sharp and Smart, no. Just Fine, no. Land Legend, tick. Played in your multiples. Absurd played in your multiples. Athabascan, no. Knight's Choice, no. Akita Sushi played in your multiples. Your tries and first fours are your multiples. One Smooth Operator in your multiples. Zadozi, multiples. See King, multiples. Valiant King, no. Fancy Man, no. Interpretation in your multiples. Man's no. Mostly Cloudy, definitely in your multiples. Positivity, no. St. George, multiples. Map, no. Trust in You, no. So here's the all-important what you've been waiting for. So if I'm playing with $100 in the race, I'm going to have a couple of bets here. I'm going to have $65 on Vauban at $60 to return of $3.90. I'm going to have $20 on number 14 Zardozi at $16 to win $3.20. And suggest you use that as your price boost if you can get one. And I'm going to have $15 on St. George at $26 to win $3.90. So 65 on Vauban at 6, $20 on number 14 Zardozi at 16, $15 on St. George at 26 to roughly win anywhere between 320 and 390. And if you want my horse to run fourth, it will be Buckaroo. So I'm going to play them in first box trifectas, box first fours. Definitely going to add mostly Cloudy and a wider trifecta with a few others, Land Legend. But yeah, so that's my preview for the Melbourne Cup. Please subscribe to Whispers Racing Podcast. It's a podcast every Thursday. You can find me on socials. I do a lot of tipping on TikTok, Twitter. DM me if you want my usernames. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. As I said, put your comments down below what you like in the Melbourne Cup. Would love to interact with you all. So punters, good luck. Hopefully I found you the winner. And yeah, happy Melbourne Cup Day.